Coach, I just want to set the scene first by saying we're about to witness the first home playoff game in San Jose since 2019. It's not a Sharks game, it's a Barracuda game, but I just feel like bringing it back to that is kind of a realization right now. I'm finally realizing how big this is now that you're going to get to play a home playoff game here.
Yeah, it's was one of our goals from the outset of the season is to take a step forward, qualify for the playoffs and then go on a run here and expose the younger players to this type of atmosphere, this type of game. So I was glad that we were able to accomplish that.
You win both games against Ontario, clean sweep. What do you take away from a series that, in terms of 2 wins, that's great, but on the ice, it was different than on paper. It was a lot tighter than that. Yeah,
it was. I think my biggest takeaway is that when we commit to playing the right way and taking care of the puck and working above on tracks as F3, we're a stingy team. We're a hard team to play against. We're pretty relentless that way. So it was good, when the stakes were highest that we committed to playing that style of game, and we were able to get out of there with 2 wins.
So you get a lot of games in the regular season, maybe a total of 7, 8, 9, 10 goals between 2 teams. This is playoff hockey. Even in the American League, you're probably going to see a lot lower scores and a lot closer games for obvious reasons. It's about defense at this point, right?
Yeah, I think that's what wins. Yeah. The other aspect of that Ontario series was the goaltending. Askarov was fantastic, and Copley, I thought, made some really nice saves as well. So there were some chances generated that we didn't capitalize, but still looking at ways where we can generate a little bit more offense.
Askarov stopped 46 of 47 total shots he faced, but there's twofold in that. He was near perfect, but also he wasn't tested. So team defense is part of his success too, right?
Yeah. I mean, it goes with anything. We're in this together, right? We're everybody's committed to blocking shots and tracking and working above, like I talked about. Those type of things, when everybody buys into that, we can be a really good team.
How is it to have a goalie like Askey who very well could get red hot here? And we don't know. We're just scratching the surface with 2 games and don't want to jinx anything either. But a goalie like that who has the capability to go on some insane stretch here.
Yeah. And I think the guys play confident in front of him. Yeah. I think they believe, they see what he can do. They see his talent in practice every day and also in the games, obviously. So I think guys play with a little extra confidence in front of them, and that's a good sign for a goalie.
If I'm just looking ahead at round 2, but also looking back at your season series against Colorado, win some, lose some, some high-scoring games. I think they may have taken 1 or 2 more over the entire season. How do you see this matchup? And maybe don't give away your entire pre-scout, but what are the generalities of this series?
Yeah, they're a good team. They won the division, right? They're the top team in the division for a reason. They've got a lot of skill. They have an older presence. They have some guys that have played. Jacob McDonald, who was with us in the past. So a lot of guys that can hurt you. So again, I think for us, I don't think I'm giving anything away when I say, we want to play the right way. We want to play our game. I think it's important to take a look at the other team and tendencies, structure, identity, all those things. But I think at the end of the day, my message is we want to play our game, especially in our building.
You're also going through these playoffs minus a couple key contributors. Podorowski was the league's MVP. Shakir Mukhamadullin on the blue line would have been definitely an impact player for you. He's out the rest of this season. Just saw Thomas Bordeleau here after practice. What can you say about your team that it even had the potential to be stronger? I know every team's a little beat up at this point of the year, but you're doing it without some key players too.
Yeah, those guys are huge. They're an important piece of, most of our season, and we miss them. But at the same time, when guys go down, it's somebody else's opportunity to step up. And I think as a group, collectively, we've kind of filled those roles by committee. As hard as it is to fill a role like Podorowski, but we've all contributed to bringing the team up.
What's the leadership like in your room right now for this postseason? What's the culture like? And how about somebody like Jimmy Schultz, who has been here, I think, 5 years in a row with 4 different teams to the Calder Cup playoffs?
Yeah, he's been great. It's the reason he's the captain. He's got experience. He's gone on long runs the previous 2 seasons with Coachella. He's been great. Scott Sabrin, Colin White, Lucas Carlson. All the guys that wear letters for us have been great. They've been saying the right things, doing the right things. Easy to point to in the video. About doing the right things.
2 more things. Eventually, you're probably going to lose a playoff game here. How do you want to see your team respond when there is that kind of game adversity?
Yeah, I think wins and losses, in the playoffs, depending on the schedule, typically it's pretty tight. You don't have a whole lot of time to dwell on wins or losses, and I don't think you should. At this point in the season, it's expectations have been made clear. It's more about managing morale, managing relationships with the players, and getting the best out of each and every player. And so I think you look at it, you pull what you can from wins or losses, and then you get right back at it.
Lastly, I understand there's been a theme for your team during this postseason, and I think it may have been intended to be internal, just in terms of how you want your guys to be in play. What can you share about how you set a tone even going into these playoffs, and what you expected from these guys and what you'd hope you'd get out of them?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing we were trying to accomplish is to make this playoffs feel like a new season, right? It's a fresh start, right? Yep. So we kind of came up with a mantra. I mean, everybody, it's be a pig. It's about commitment. It's about committing to the cause, the greater good. And that's what we want our guys to do when it comes to, maybe you were changing the offensive zone, sacrifice some OZ time, put your teammate in a better spot than you, blocking shots, physicality. All of these things are, when everybody commits to doing them and for the greater good of the team, that's when you really have something.
If you put a plate of fettuccine in front of me right now, I would be a pig. But that's pretty much it. Coach, best of luck, and I can't wait to keep covering these playoffs for you guys.
Thank you.